Avengers Age of Ultron is directed by Joss Whedon and stars Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, Jeremy Renner and Scarlett Johansson. This is the sequel we were all waiting for. When Tony Stark realises he needs to put a net of armour over the world, he creates the Ultron program, which can help protect the world from future threats. However, when Ultron gains consciousness, he is seeking the Avengers' blood as he teams up with enhanced twins as they go after the Avengers. Ultron is a typical villain who wants to cause an extinction level event that will wipe out all of humanity, including all of the Avengers themselves. This is the biggest threat they have ever faced, and they have to come together again to face Ultron. Joss Whedon returns for the most highly anticipated sequel, probably ever. Like I said in my Avengers review, Joss Whedon is the absolute perfect choice to direct, as he can take a group of characters with individual strong personalities and make them all work and make them all relevant. He did a lot of character work in this movie to make some of the characters a lot more important and way more relevant so that the audience is able to connect with them a bit more than they before. So they're a bit more emotionally attached to these characters so that the consequences that may happen to them in the future may actually have an impact on the audience themselves. All of the Avengers return, and they all play their roles just as brilliantly as normal. Tony Stark was very good as he realises what he has done in all of the previous movies, which gives him the drive to create Ultron. Captain America was incredible as ever, and all of the other Avengers were just as great. I think Black Widow is given quite a lot to do in this, which I found quite interesting, but then you look at Thor, and though he is still funny in this film, he just doesn't seem to have a place in this film, and it always seems like Thor is a bit of a relevant character in most of the scenes, which is a shame, as he has a lot of potential that could be explored in the future. Ultron was, in my opinion, an absolutely awesome villain. He is voiced by the incredible comedic James Spader, and he was perfect. I loved his mannerisms, and the way he just talked was on point. He is so clearly based on Tony Stark in the movie, which he delivers a line which I have in my bio on all my social medias, which is, "Keep your friends rich and your enemies rich, and wait to see which is which." That is such an awesome quote, and I can't get enough of it. One of my favourite quotes ever in films. Honestly, it is. I love him and Ultron. There are also a few new characters in this movie, which are individually different. Scarlet Witch was a really mysterious and interesting character, and her powers are something we haven't seen in the MCU until now. Her twin brother Quicksilver is a speedster. I feel he was incredibly shortchanged in this movie, and if you have seen the movie, you know what I mean. Also, due to the fact we saw a Quicksilver a year prior in X-Men Days of Future Past, who was extremely well received, so it does put the MCU Quicksilver in a vulnerable position and at a bit of an instant disadvantage, which is a shame because Aaron Taylor-Johnson is a great actor. The Vision was finally introduced, and he is one of the best characters in this film. The thing with the Vision is, he is the most powerful character we had ever seen physically at this point, and he is actually quite passive, and this is really explored later on in Civil War. I loved his design and the way he looked. I loved his powers. I loved how Vision's consciousness is made up from the remains of Tony Stark's personal assistant, Jarvis, which was such a clever idea, and the way it was executed was really, really well done. Loved Vision. He was absolutely a fantastic addition. Overall, I really enjoyed this movie. However, I really felt this film couldn't survive under the weight of the hype it was carrying, as it seemed to disappoint on many levels with many different people, including me to some extent. But it does have some absolutely fantastic moments with some awesome characters, and it's the new Marvel film, so we're all going to watch it no matter what. Therefore, I give Avengers Age of Ultron a B, just because it was still a good film, very entertaining film, very fun, just couldn't quite survive under the weight of the hype, which is a shame, because it's still great.